Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining our Blab session for today. My name is Detola Amure, and a lot of people know me as Allotted. But yeah, you can call me Detola, you can call me Allotted, it doesn't matter. And I'm so excited about this Blab session. I know that a number of you are not are watching us on your computer or phone or something, and I hope you have a nice lunch as we start. And before we start, I would like to say a quick word of prayer, if that's fine. So, Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this time that we are about to spend together. I thank you because I know that you're here with us, and I pray for everyone who's listening. I pray that they would leave here with something tangible, and that this would be a productive lunchtime for them. I also pray for those who will be watching the replay. I pray that they would also leave with something beneficial. And I'm praying, Lord, for the connection, that it will be fine, it will not go off. And I just thank you. I pray for Ope, and I pray that you give us the right words to say. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay. So, like I said before, my name is Detola Amure, and I'm the founder of Super Ope Mom. This is our fourth Blab session, I think. Yes, it is our fourth Blab session. We didn't have one last week. But yeah, we're back, and we have we're going to have an exciting time together. We have a guest speaker, and I'll be introducing her shortly. So I just wanted to say a bit about, Super Ope Mom for those who do not know, if this is your first time hearing about Super Ope Mom. It's an organization that is dedicated to helping mothers, especially Christian moms, on how to maximize their time so that they can manifest the big dreams that God has given them. And those Blab sessions are really to showcase some of the women who are well on their way to manifesting their dreams. And a number of them are members of the Super Ope Mom Academy, because that's our main hub for where we help mothers, learn strategies and tools to help them manifest their dreams. And we do retreats. We have 3 retreats every year. The next one is in July. I think all the spaces, actually, I think there's 1 or 2 spaces left. So if you want to come, let me know. And we also have, what else do we have? I've written a book called Super Ope Mom. It's an excellent book to have if you don't have it. And there's a journal as well called the Living Amazed Journal. So today, really, we're going to be talking to one of the members of the Super Ope Mom Academy. Her name is Ope Malomo. And she is a mom. She's a wife and a mom. And she's going to be telling us more about her. So I don't want to blab too much about who she is. But she's going to be sharing part of her story with us today. And I think I'm excited about this particular Blab session because bereavement is a topic that a lot of people do not talk about. It's like a taboo topic. No one likes to talk about death. No one likes to talk about grieving. But the 2 things that someone, I don't know who said it, said the 2 things that are constant in life are taxes and death. So that is going to come at one point. I mean, we all pray to live long. That's my prayer. I pray to live long. I'm sure you pray to live long. But sometimes these things happen where children, especially, either lose a parent or both. And it's how do these children deal with it? Or how do adults, even, because a number of adults lose their parents and it's like the biggest shock of their life. So how do they deal with it? How do they deal with bereavement? And Ope has been through that journey. She lost both her parents at a very early age. And so part of, she's turned part of her story, part of her pain into her story, which she's now using to bless others and to help others in that same situation. And that reminds me a lot about the Bible passage that says that, now what does it say? Something about when we go through, God comforts us through our trials and pain so that we can then comfort others who are going through similar pain. And the truth about it is that our pain is never wasted. God can always use our pain for his glory. And it's all about him, to be honest. It's not about us. It's about God. So he always wants to use our pain for his glory. And this is why I'm excited about Ope's story. And so, yes, I'm going to stop blabbing and let, give Ope a chance to tell us who she is. So welcome again, Ope. Could you please tell us about yourself, what you do, your family, and yeah, let's get on it. Oh, sorry, before you say anything, at the end, so you need to stay right to the end. 2 weeks ago, for my birthday, there was there was a chance for a few people to apply to join the Super Mom Academy on a scholarship basis. So I'll be announcing the names of the winners. Hopefully they're going to be watching now or later, but they would also get emails anyway. So yeah, let's get right back to it, Ope. So yeah, welcome.
Hello. Thank you, Datola, for inviting me on this. Hi, everyone, those watching at home, at work, and those online as well. My name is Ope Malomo. My full name is actually Eyima Tofokbe Oluwa. For those who are not Nigerian, my name means this is enough to give thanks to God. I'm a Christian. I'm a lover of God, all things God. I'm married to my best friend. We've been married for almost 5 years now, and we have a little boy. He's 19 months old. So that's me and my family. And of course, yes, I was born into a family of other children. So I'm the last born of 5 children. So I have 4 older siblings, 2 sisters and 2 brothers.
Oh wow! Okay, so you are the baby of the house.
Yes, I am.
So let's get right into it. I want you to tell us a bit about your story and how you've managed to turn your pain into something God can use, and of course talk about letters of hope, because I know that's a big part of your story.
So actually, do you mind if I take a step?
Oh yeah, go please.
So I talked about my personal life, so to say. I didn't talk about what I do as a day job. So I do have a day job.
What do you do?
I have a 9-to-5 job. I work as a project manager. I work for a pharmaceutical company. I've been with them for some time, and I left and came back again. But I've been in the industry for about 11 years or so. I work specifically in clinical trials, and I really, really do love my job. It's something I'm passionate about. I love my job because it's kind of linked to what I wanted to do when I was growing up. I wanted to be a doctor, and for some reason, I didn't do well in my A-level, so I didn't get into medical school, but I did biochemistry, and so I'm able to use my skill sets in this industry. And what I particularly like about my job is the fact that I get to make a difference in the lives of patients, because I'm involved in the process of getting medicines onto market. We try out different drugs on different patients depending on the therapeutic area. So I love that. So I love the fact that I also get to kind of use my skill sets, the things that I like doing. I like to lead. I'm a leader. So I get to lead various teams in my job. I get to meet people. I love meeting people. So I get to interact with physicians, with nurses, with pharmacists, also obviously with the people within my own organization as well. So yeah, my day job is something that I actually look forward to going to work and doing my job. So that's my 9-to-5. Now coming back to my story, so I lost my dad when I was 6, and then 5 years after I lost my mom.
Wow.
My dad's one was a bit of a shock because my granddad had just passed away shortly before, and we'd gone to the village to kind of bury my grandpa. My grandpa actually lived till I think he was 97 or something. He was very old, and my dad came home because my dad travels a lot, so he came home for the funeral. And my dad is the eldest of 9 children, so he had 7 other brothers, and then he had a sister. So there are 9 of them. Anyway, so he came home to kind of have the celebration of life event for his father, and it was a big event, but it was a joyful one because we're celebrating all that my granddad had done in his life. So it wasn't a sorrowful event also. And then I remember going back home and going back to school. I was in primary school at the time, and I don't even remember who came to call me, but somebody called me into the headmaster's office. and said, oh, we have some news for you. Not forgetting that a few weeks before, they'd called me into the same office to tell me about my granddad. So this time around, I was wondering what they're calling me for again. And it turns out it was my dad that had passed away. And if I'm honest with you, at the time, it did affect me, but not as much as it affected me when I lost my mom, because when my dad passed away, my mom was still around, so I felt like there was still somebody there for me. And also my dad used to travel a lot, so you can imagine as a 6-year-old, there was very limited memories I had of him. The memories are very vivid because there are few, but again at 6, there's only so much I can remember. Whereas when my mom passed away, it was a completely different story. The thing is, I remember when my dad passed away was the fact that my mom was struggling to cope. So I could see that she was missing her life partner. She was missing her friend. There were things she was struggling to deal with. So those are the things I thought about when my dad passed away. But I wish he was around so they could support my mom, so that my mom wouldn't be sad anymore, so she could smile again, and so she wouldn't be stressed. So those were the kind of issues I was dealing with when he passed away. And in fact, I remember saying to my mom one day that, I don't mind if you marry somebody else, And she looked at me and smiled. And we had this uncle that used to visit us a lot. And as a small girl, I just used to think, I don't mind if I had another daddy. Or if you marry somebody else, I won't mind, as long as you're happy. That was what I thought about losing my dad. But then when my mom passed away, that was a total shock. As in, I didn't expect it at all. And also, I think in the circle that I'd grown up with, there are very few people that lost one parent. So for me, losing 2 parents was like, I've never heard of it. I guess I lived a sheltered life, so it wasn't something that was common to me. So when that happened, I was like, what is going to happen to me? Who is going to look after me now? And it wasn't like, okay, yes, she did kind of fall ill unexpectedly, but it wasn't something that you think she would die from. So I thought, okay, she'd gone into hospital, and so she would, whatever they do in hospital, she'll be back home. There was no warning that she was going to die, is what I'm trying to say. It was so sudden. I could not prepare myself. And that really shook my world, because yes, my mom was much older than me, but she was like my friend. So she was somebody I could kind of look up to and cuddle up to, and you know how we are with our moms. And so I was like, what? Who is going to look after me now? That's all I kept on thinking. What's going to happen to me? Where am I going to live? Yes.
Wow. So you said you were, how old were your mom?
I was 11 at the time. So in fact, with my dad, like I said, I was 6, I was in primary school, and with my mom, I just completed my first year in high school. I went to Queen's College in Nigeria, Lagos, and in my first year, I think the first term, I was a day student, and my mom was really struggling to kind of cope with taking me to school, bringing me back, and all of that. And so I eventually got put in boarding school, which took me a while to adjust to. But this particular summer was my first summer break from boarding school. So I was looking forward to spending time at home. I really can't remember the details. So it's either it was a few days or a couple of days, or less than a week anyway, after I came back from school when this happened, when she fell ill at home. So I even hadn't had much time to enjoy my summer break. This was just the start of my summer break. And yes, this happened.
So, I mean, in hindsight, can you go on mute? I don't know why this thing is echoing. Can you go on mute? Are you on mute?
Okay.
Just for when I'm talking, the echoes come back. Okay. What was I going to ask? Yes. So, wow. I mean, I can't begin to imagine. And you seem so calm talking about it now, but I'm sure when you were growing up, that wasn't the case. So over the years, how do you think you dealt with it, or how did you cope? I guess that's a better word to use.
I guess with my dad, I was in denial. I was in denial, and also I needed, as a child, what do you need? You need someone to love you. You need someone to look after you. You You need someone to listen to you. And so my mom was there to do all of that. And so, yes, I missed my dad, but because my mom was there,
Yeah.
I didn't feel it so much. But when my mom went, like I said, that shook my world. And so all those emotions came from nowhere. Then I started thinking, why me? Why me? You know, why me? It happened the first time, second time, why me? What have I done? So I was angry with God, I was angry with myself, I was angry with everybody that came near me. Don't talk to me, I don't want to talk about it. I needed to process what was going on in my head. And for me, I think I didn't really talk about it. So it was all I was dealing with it inside of me. And the emotions were bubbling up. I couldn't really talk. There was no one I could kind of express how I was feeling because I didn't even know how I was feeling. There was all sorts going on in my head. But the main thing, I would say, the main emotion I dealt with was anger. I was really, really angry with everybody and anybody. The way I would look at you, the stuff that was going on in my head. If anyone tried to be nice to me, people that were trying to be nice to me were the ones I thought, oh, you just be nice to me for a season. You will go back to your house, go back to your life, and I will still have to deal with what I was going through.
I get that right. So someone's asking if you... I said someone is asking if you had siblings, and I said 2 brothers and 2 sisters, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
So yes, I was dealing with anger, and I was afraid. I was afraid that if this has happened to my dad and to my mom, then soon it will be me. I just had this theory. I'd watched so many Mollywood movies. I'd heard so many things. People talk all sorts, and that's why now I'm mindful of my own son, the kind of things I see in his own environment, because kids are picking up things all the time. You don't know what they're picking up. They listen to you, they watch you, and so I picked up all sort of theories. And in my head, I was formulating what had gone on, and whoever got my parents was coming to get me. So you can imagine at nighttime, I couldn't sleep because I'll be there scared that, okay, this is me now, it's coming for me. And my dad actually slept and he didn't wake up.
Wow.
Whereas my mom was not well and she had an operation and then she bled after the operation. So with my dad sleeping and not waking up, me going to sleep was the biggest deal for me because I thought, hey, I could sleep and then tomorrow I won't be here again. Mm. So I'll sit there thinking, okay, who have I offended? What have I done? What have I said? Those were the kind of things I was dealing with. And then when I start looking into the future, I look into, okay, when I go to uni, when I get married, who's going to be there for me? Who's going to be there? I think I didn't even thought about children. It was just more about my immediate future, And then when you see people going out for stuff with their parents, or they're talking, or their parents are holding their hands, you're wishing, oh, I wish somebody could be there for me like my mom. And yes, I had sisters, I had aunties that would cuddle me and hold on to me or whatever, but it wasn't the same as your mother, not the same. So how did I cope with it? I don't think there was a strategy or there was a formula to coping with it. I think I just took each day at a time. And it sounds like a cliche, but time is really your great healer. As time goes on, the things that you worry about, you see the faithfulness of God in your life. And so you think, okay, if God has done this, certainly he's going to do much more. So as time has gone on, my faith has increased. My faith with God has increased, so to say, and I've learned to rely on him a lot more. I know that, okay, he's the only one that can see me through my challenges. And then certain things that have bothered me, I realized that they're not an issue. They're just things I formulate in my head. So for example, it took a long time for me to get rid of my fear of going to bed at night. I would have nightmares just because of the things I was thinking. So the more I thought about stuff, the more things were becoming vivid in my mind. The more I imagined stuff, the more I got scared of them. So over time, I decided to start meditating on the word of God rather than fixating my mind on those things I was thinking about. And yes, there's so many strategies, expressing myself to people, writing down my thoughts. That really helped. Writing that, because like I said earlier on, I was bubbling up a lot of emotions inside of me. There was nowhere to let it out. So, but as I grew up, my sisters, one of them in particular, she used to give me notebooks, like diaries. So I started writing down my thoughts. Initially, they started off as thoughts to myself, just what I was thinking to myself. And then as I grew older, I started writing to God, telling what I was experiencing, the things I wanted him to take care of, things that I couldn't even share with anybody else. Not because they wouldn't listen to me, but because I felt they had other things going on in their lives and I didn't want to bother them. That's just the kind of personality that I have. So I would write to God and just say, this is what I'm going through. Please just send somebody to help me. And
Wow, that's interesting. Which begs the question, when did you give your life to Christ? Was it before or at what point?
So the thing is that I'd always been a Christian. I grew up in a Christian family and we went to an Anglican church. So, but between my dad passing away and my mom passing away, I had some cousins that used to live down the road from us, very close cousins, and they invited me to a fellowship once. And I don't know if you went to any of this fellowship where they show you the videos of rapture and you better give your life.
That's how I gave my life to Christ.
I better give your life now, or you're going to die, or you're going to go to hell, or you're going to burn, and there'll be nobody there to look after you. You'll be begging for water, and nobody will give you water. So that was basically how I gave my life to Christ. I think I was around 7 or 8 at the time. And so even though I grew up in the church, it was around 7 or 8 that I started developing a personal relationship with Christ himself. And then when I went to boarding school, I rededicated my life to God again. Especially this was after my mom passed away. I just needed something to hold on to. And my faith has really been the biggest pillar that has seen me through challenges. People have come and gone. Things have come and gone, but my faith has been one thing that I've held on to and has really seen me through challenges.
Interesting. And listening to what you said about when your mom passed away and all those thoughts, that just sounds deep and heavy for 11-year-old to be, it's like you had to grow up quickly, more or less. And your story about how you gave your life to Christ is very similar to mine. There was a video in church about what was it called again? Can't remember, but something about the rapture and then all those that were left behind. And I was like, I rushed to the altar. But like you as well, I rededicated my life to God when in secondary school, because that was when I knew it wasn't out of fear anymore. It was more out of, oh wow, this is what Jesus did for me. So interesting story there. Okay. So I have an interesting question for you. Do you think one can ever get healed from a bereavement? Or from, parents dying or loved one dying?
I think that's an interesting one. And I do believe that God is working me through the understanding of that. But what I'll share with you is my own understanding of what I believe it can be healed from. So bereavement in itself has so many facets, so many parts of it. There's so many emotions that come with losing somebody close to you. So many things. You find some people, I remember listening to a video, one of Joyce Meyer's videos a while back, and there was a guy that lost his mom, and from that it turned into alcohol. So he became an alcoholic. Right. I believe you can get healed from that sort of thing. Right. So there's also the anger part of it that I've mentioned, that you get really bitter. Your anger can turn into bitterness and it can hold you back from fulfilling what God has called you to do. Again, I believe you can get healed from that. So there are various elements of bereavement. There are different effects it has on people. And truly, I do believe God has given us the grace. And yes, we can get healed from those elements of bereavement. But in terms of, because bereavement is the loss of somebody. So, personally, in my own opinion, I don't believe you can get over the loss of that person, because time and time again, the remembrance of that person will come to you. You might think, okay, you've had a season of not thinking of them, but something would come, something would trigger off your emotions, and it's how you deal with it that matters. So for me, recently it's been having a baby, and I remember when I had my baby and my mother-in-law came to stay with me. Yes, she was a fantastic help, and I totally loved her being around, but it also reminded me of having my mother around. What would that have been like? to see me having a child. Come on, she had me when she was 44. It would have been a great joy, a great delight for her that, yes, I'm carrying Ope's child. And so for me, that brought back so many emotions, and I had to process it again. And it took me some time, but it took me less time than it would have done a few years ago. So personally, I believe that I am still being healed through some of the emotions, but there's some things that don't bother me anymore. For example, the fear of dying is no longer a threat to me. If I die today, I know where I'm going, and I know God will look after my child, and He'll look after my husband and my sister. So that I believe I've been healed from.
We're not going anywhere. Let's get that straight.
No.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, wow. That's fantastic. I mean, knowing that, and like you said, it's a process. It's not like, boom. It's just like, I haven't gone through a bereavement the way you've gone through. I mean, the closest I've had to losing someone that's close to me was my dear cousin, who was brutally killed in his house by armed robbers, and that shook everyone. But I mean, the loss of a parent, the loss of a husband, I think that's another level. But in a way, I cannot compare. From my little, knowledge of bereavement, it's like having a cut, and then it kind of heals, and the scars there, and you're like, oh wow, I remember when this. So I guess it's walking through that process of, yeah, wow. Sometimes, when I listen to you, or just as you're talking, I get shivers. Like, it's like, wow, God, how do people cope with it? But that's where the grace of God comes in. Where we are weak, He is strong.
That's right.
So we just thank God for that. So, I mean, how have you been able to use your pain? The pain you have losing both your parents. How have you been able to use that for the benefit of God's kingdom or to help others? Because I know that there might be a number of people who they've lost someone close to them. It could be a parent, it could be a husband, it could be a child, but then they've held on to that pain and they can't just let it go. So how have you been able to, walking through that process, how are you using your pain for God's gain?
So I think for me, it's not something that I woke up suddenly and I said, yes, I am going to use this for God's kingdom. Hey, I am ready to go out and do this and do that. It actually started when I was in my late teens and early 20s. Anytime friends or family lost somebody in their family and there were young children left behind, they would then contact me and say, do you mind writing a letter to this person, writing an email or giving them a call just to comfort them? And I would do so. I guess they could see that I was coping well, so they wanted me to be able to share my comfort with others. But at the time when I started doing that, like I said, it wasn't something I did voluntarily. I didn't go out there because I felt, you don't know what I'm dealing with myself. I didn't feel like I was ready for it. I didn't feel like I was ready to share my story or to help others because I was still dealing with stuff. But then people could see from the outside or whatever they could see, they felt that, okay, this girl has been through enough, so she can offer support to others. So that's how it kind of started-ish. And then a few years ago, just under 5 years now, a colleague at work recommended I watch the TV program. It was something to do with two girls, the SWM girls that were murdered a while ago. And so the documentary was just about their family and how they coped with bereavement. So at the end of the program, there was a charity that came on board, and they talked about their work of supporting bereaved children. And I thought, interesting. I didn't know there were such organizations in the UK that supported bereaved children. Oh, wow. That would have been a great help to me when I was growing up, at least to have somewhere to go and talk to. And then I remember that I was watching a program on TV again a few years ago about children that lost their parents after 9/11. They go on this camp or something, they all come together and they share their emotions. And some children didn't want to be part of that because they felt they would be labeled. Some wanted to go because there were others that they could relate to that had the same experience as them. So I think I felt I kind of fit into the second boat. I felt like I wish there was an organization of people that gone through similar experiences that I could just talk to and, they would understand where I was coming from. Anyway, so that's what watching this program, the following day, I then gave them a call to say, you know what, I'd really like to be involved and support children in your organization because I've been there. And this is my story. And so they said, okay, well, that sounds great. Why don't you email our director or the founder? And I emailed her and she invited me for an interview. I had some training. And so that's how I got involved with this charity organization. And so because I do have a full-time job, a 9-to-5 job, so I was working with them on a voluntary basis, and this was with their drop-in sessions. So children can come in and drop in on a certain day of the week and just express themselves, talk about how they're feeling. They could draw things or write things, or they could just talk, depending on what was going on in their lives at the time. And it was nice for them to be in an environment where there were other children going through the same thing. It was a safe environment for them to do so. Yeah. And then we have like workshops, like on Father's Day and Mother's Day, we'll have workshops for children so that they won't be at home, just sat down thinking, hey, everybody's celebrating Mother's Day or Father's Day, what am I to do? So they can come and either make a card or make a bracelet or something along the lines for their own loved one. So that's how I got involved. And then took a break because I had a baby. And so I am where I am now because sometime last year, my dear friend, Diana, passed away, and she passed away a week after she had a baby boy, and she already had an older child who is, I think she's 9 now, she'll be 10 this year. So, and it was a shock, a big shock to me because I didn't expect her to pass away that soon. I'd only just sent her a Facebook message like less than 48 hours before I saw the news that she'd gone. And so I think what really got to me the most was just the children that she'd left behind. And so I found myself, I'll be doing my devotion, and I was thinking about this girl, thinking about what she was going through. I was 6 when I lost my dad and 11 when I lost my mom. So she's like in between. So I'm kind of trying to think about the emotions going through her mind. You know, what's she like at school? What's she like at home? Is she talking? Is she bottling up her emotions? And she was very close to her mother. You should see their pictures on Facebook. They were like best buddies. So imagine if you were extremely tight to somebody and that person is cut off from you, how you would feel. Your life kind of revolved around this person and that person is gone. And suddenly you have to start living your life without this person. And so I would sit there thinking, Chai, what is this girl going through? You know, on her birthday, at Christmas, on Mother's Day, what are the thoughts going through her mind? How can I encourage her? How can I support her? So I started writing down the things that got me through those challenges, how I felt, and what I would have liked somebody to have said to me at the time when I was young. Obviously, I'm older now, and there are different challenges I face now. But I look back at where I've come from, the path I've walked on, and the people that are walking on the same path, and how they're feeling. You know, how can I help them? And that's where I came up with Letters of Hope, which is simply a collection of letters to children, basically talking about different issues they might come across. For me, one of the biggest issues I faced was changing schools. So this girl, I know she has changed schools just because it's one of the things that happen when you lose somebody. You either move on because the person that you're living with maybe doesn't want to be in the same house anymore because of the memories it's bringing, or because the circumstances around you does not permit for you to stay in the same house. So you either move house or you move country. So for me, I moved country, I moved house. I left Nigeria and came to the UK, and it was an experience, to say a thing. And so in my book, I talked about dealing with changing schools, you know, how you get to settle in your new school. It's one thing having your parents around and you're changing school. Children deal with a lot of things around that anyway. But then to add on top of that, that you don't even have your loved one with you. Hey. So yes, so Letters of Hope just kind of talks through various issues that children will go through if they've lost a parent or a loved one.
Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. So I'm guessing that you've sent the book to your friend's daughter? Oh, that's amazing.
I have.
Oh,
and she has a younger brother as well, but hopefully when he's older, we'll be able to have access.
Because I remember then that one of your goals then was to launch the book on her Memorial Day, and you did. And well done to you. Wow. Okay, so Letters of Hope was mainly written for children, but adults can gain from it as well?
Yes, so that has that has actually been the big.
Ooh, what happened? We lost Ope there. That is not cool. Let's try and get her back. So yeah, we lost Ope there briefly. Hopefully she'll be able to log back in. What a phenomenal story. I mean, as you can tell, dealing with someone you've lost is tough, but thank God for God. Thank God for God. That's the only thing I can say, because if she didn't go for counseling and all of that as a young child, it's amazing that she's here now. And, is using her story. Okay, yeah, she's calling back in. Except...
I am so sorry.
Okay, yeah, we have you back.
That has been the biggest surprise for me, to be honest, because when God laid it on my heart to write the book, and I took my time because I wasn't sure. I'm like, God, am I ready? Like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Use what you have and start from somewhere, and I will take you to where I need to take you. Anyway, so when he put it on my heart, it was mainly for children.
Yeah.
And so the biggest surprise that has come to me is the feedback I've had from people that have actually gone through childhood bereavement. So adults that went through bereavement when they were a child, they can so relate to this book. Some people are saying that the emotions that they felt when they lost their parents, that they've not been able to express verbally, reading this book has been able to, it's like a sort of release for them that, yes, somebody else understands what I've gone through. And then I remember somebody was saying to me that it seemed as if I'd taken her journal, her diary, and I was writing from my own journal or diary, because this is exactly the same thing she'd gone through. And then the other surprise that came to me, somebody saying to me that, okay, they haven't gone through any bereavement in their immediate family, but then reading the book has made them understand what children or what orphans go through. So it's another way of them being able to offer support to people in their community, because now they know the sort of things they're going through, and also from the examples that I've shared in the book, they can relate to them better and also offer ways of support to this people. So God has just taken control.
Yeah.
He's taking control.
And that's the amazing thing. When God gives us an assignment, and he says, okay, it's time, you never can tell how far it's gonna go. You never know who's going to read it. You don't know what it's going to do for the people that God has prepared that book from. So, you've made yourself available, and as you've done so, I just believe that God is going to replenish you and, help you as part of the healing process that you are currently going through as well. So, well done, well done, well done. I'm truly amazed. Okay, so tell us, I know you've written the book, and I know that journal is coming up. I don't know if that's public knowledge yet, but what are your big dreams for Letters of Hope? What else is coming? What else has God been telling you or laying on your heart?
I'm waiting for him to lead me, to be honest with you. And I've totally just left it in his hands, because like I said, the book, if you had said to me, what are we now? April. If you had said to me in April last year that I'll have a book by now, I'd be like, no way. Me? But yes, here we are today with the book. So I don't know what God has in store, but I've just made myself available to him just to keep using me. In the immediate future, I'm writing a devotional just to go along with the book, because the book is really like an introduction to the bereaved children, because I want them to know a bit about me. Before I bring out the devotional, I want them to know they can relate to me before I start talking to them about God. I want them to know that I've walked on the same path they've walked on before I bring out the devotional. So Letters of Hope is just an introduction. It's a short book saying, this is me, this is my story, get to know me, contact me if you want a friend. And then the devotional will come, and the journal to go with the devotional. And then, but the main thing right now is to get the book out to people that need it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get in work or in partnerships with other organizations that support bereaved children, so that together we can work and get the message out, because children do need support. They cannot give up hope. If you lose your parents as a child, so much can happen to you. There's so many evils in this world that children need to be encouraged. They need to be given hope, that they can put their hope in God, not in man, not in things, not in sex, not in drinks, but in God Almighty.
Wow, that is so powerful. That is powerful. And you know, I put the link to your website there for those who need a copy. So I mean, adults, like Ope already said, it's for children who's gone through a bereavement, for adults who went through child bereavement, and even adults who are going through a bereavement now. There's something in there for everyone. So you get it. Oh, okay. If you want to type in the question, type, or what's that thing again? I can't remember how it goes. Oh yeah, amazing. Someone said they just got their copy. Yes, type /Q and then put your question in, and then we'll see your question. Amazing. Okay, we still have a few more questions to go, and then we'll round up. Okay. Yes, so we already put the link in there for those who want a copy. Thanks. I am more than a diet for those for getting your copy. Trying to. Okay, so I know we've talked about Letters of Hope, but I also know that you have another business called AFOG. So tell us a bit about that, because that sounds interesting.
That sounds interesting. So Letters of Hope does not sound interesting.
We've already established that Letters of Hope is phenomenal. It is not interesting.
AFOG means a heart full of gratitude, and it's actually born out of my name, Ope, and it's again born out of the love of celebrating others. So I love to celebrate the people around me, and it's a business that basically helps people to appreciate either individuals or a group of people. So either if you have a friend or a loved one you want to get a special gift for, then yes, you contact us and we can help you sort that out. Or if you're a bride getting married and you want special gift for your bridesmaids, then we can sort out the packages for you. Or if you're somebody and your loved one is getting married and you want to get souvenirs for the event or even a birthday event, then yes, we can do that for you. We've also done stuff for burials as well, funerals, sorry, or celebration of life events, if you want to call it that. So yes, what we do is we source contemporary, practical gift items for people, either individuals or groups of people.
Okay. Wow, interesting. I've used that word again. But I guess the reason why I'm saying it's interesting is because it just dawned on me now that even though AFOG is different from Letters of Hope, they both stem from a place of encouragement. It just clicked to me now, like using gifts to encourage people, and also using, your words to encourage those who are through bereavement. So it all comes from that gift, because I know you have a gift of encouragement, which is one of the Bible, what's it called? Exaltation. So that gift is there, and then the platform is Letters of Hope and AFOG. So kudos. Okay, so I remember late last November, I take a leap of faith to work with, me in Super Okay Mom to basically help you, because you had mentioned that God gave you the idea to write this book. But I think at that point you were like, how do I go about it? But then that's when we actually, started working together to get the book out and all of that. So how was that experience for you?
It was fantastic. It was fabulous. And to say that in, is it 5 months or 4 months, we got a book out. That is amazing, Datola. Amazing. Thank you so much. Let me use this opportunity to say thank you publicly. Thank you so much for everything you've done. The way you've connected me to people, for your support. There were times I felt, hey, I can't do this. Or I've got my 9 to 5, please. And you just carried on encouraging me. And together as we're working, God just started opening doors for us left, right, and center, and things just kind of worked out. So thank you, God, and thank you, Datola, for making this dream become a reality. Yes, what more can I say? The fact that we worked together, it took a lot of dedication and commitment. If I'm allowed to share, the times we got together, early hours of the morning, planning. At 6 o'clock in the morning, we would spend an hour talking about next steps, what we needed to do, what we needed to achieve in the next week before we met again. The biggest thing for me was actually having somebody that I was accountable to, like a friend. And you're my friend. I hope you.
Oh yeah.
So to have a friend that could hold your hand as you're walking this journey together, and and it's even more important for me not having a mom or whatever. Yes, I have siblings and I have my husband I can talk to, but to have somebody separate from that could dedicate time solely to completing this project, hey, that was amazing for me. And we did it on time, obviously, with the grace of God. So it's been an amazing journey, and I don't regret it. And if it was to do it again, I would do it again.
Wow.
I didn't know you when I took that step of faith, and I believe it was God that ordered my steps and directed me to you, because I had been kind of following you online for a while. I'd read your book and I thought, hey, this girl is about the same age as me. If she can do it, yes, so can I. So let's go and see what she's got to do for me.
I'm older than you. Okay,
I know.
I should strike that off from the recording note. Yeah. How much? Okay, ignore. Right. Okay. So apart from us working one-to-one, you're also a member of the academy. So what's been the biggest part of being a member? Because it's more of a community. How has being a member of the academy helped you with maximizing your time and manifesting your dreams?
For me, I think there's so many things. It's stretching myself, know that I can do stuff. Being in a community of people that are trying to do things themselves also stirs you up, also stirs you on. It encourages you that yes, it's not impossible. Just because you're married, you have a child, you have a 9-to-5 job, doesn't mean you can't do that which God has placed on your heart to do. There is more to life if you want that more. And so being in that community of women has kind of encouraged me on a daily basis. And to know that the challenges I face in my marriage, in my workplace, being a mother, there are people out there facing the same thing. Yes, my friends that are outside the academy are facing the same things. But when we come together in the academy and we talk about these issues and we kind of deal with them together, there's power in community, or I don't know if there's such a saying. I've made it up now anyway. So there's empowerment in a community of women coming together, trying to support each other. It's, again, even I remember last year, one of the things I wanted to do, because I love reading, I used to run a book club, but since getting married, initially I dropped the number of books I was reading, and then when I had a baby, hey, that completely came off my radar. I don't have time for reading. No, I've got to look after a baby. And then joining the academy, that has brought back my passion. Now we have a book club in there, and so we read a book once a month. And to the glory of God, I've read 3 books this year. Yes, I struggled in one of the months, but basically my passion has come back again. But then you know that you can do it, because before I was saying, no, I can't do it. But because you're in this group and there are people doing it and you're all encouraging each other, then yes, I can go forth and conquer the world.
Amazing stuff. Thanks for that feedback. So, but I know that a number of people, have either interested or hesitant. So it's always good to get feedback, because sometimes when I rave about the academy, of course you rave about it, you run it. But when we have feedback from people who are in it, and it's not just hype, but actually tangible results that people get for being a member, then it's worth taking that step. Okay, so let's
the network of women in there as well that can support you. So there are women doing all sorts, various things. And rather than you sitting on your computer searching on Google, okay, I need this person to do this, I need that person to do this. In that community, you can either ask for help, so they will direct you to people that they know, or they themselves are doing what you need. So for me, it's just a wealth of experience within that group, a wealth of knowledge, and you have nothing to lose. Try it. If it's not for you, out.
Exactly, and that's the good thing. It's because it's a monthly thing. So if you feel, oh, this is just a waste of time, then no questions asked. No, you can leave at any time. I think Paula should still trying to ask us a question, but I don't know why it keeps disappearing. All I see is EG. So maybe send me the question on Facebook chat, or I don't know. My phone's not here. I would have said send it to me on WhatsApp. Or send it to Ope on WhatsApp. Yeah. Okay. Amazing stuff. So I should stop saying let's go back to Letters of Hope for a while, for just a brief moment. So yeah, I mean, we encourage people to go get the book, but just for today, if there's anyone on the call or anyone listening, what advice would you give to, first of all, let's say a child who's dealing with grief, what practical, it might not be practical, what of encouragement or advice do you have for that child? And if it's an adult, what one piece of advice or encouragement would you give them today? Uh-oh. Hello? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
So for a child, if I think back to myself and what I went through, I think I bottled up a lot of my emotions. One, because I didn't want to bother people. I didn't want them to, one, to think I wasn't coping, and two, I felt like everybody was moving on with their lives. So why should I bother them with my trouble? You know. So one of the advice I would give a young child going through the same thing is, do speak up, please. Speak up. Reach out to a trusted friend or relative. So not just anybody, but somebody that you can confide in. Reach out, let them know how you're feeling. It might just be that you don't even want any support, but you just want someone to talk to. Because I can bet you there's things you're thinking in your mind. There are all sorts going through your head. Either you're missing your mom or your dad, or you're worried about something in the future, something that hasn't happened. Or there's something that you want to do and you're not sure how to go about it, and you're like, who can I even talk to? Whatever it is, just reach out to somebody. If you have an older sibling, let them know. If your other parent is still alive, let them know. If you have an uncle and aunt that you can talk to, let them know. And even if they can't help you, they would direct you to somebody that can help you. It could be a counselor, it could be somebody at school or even at church, or speak to somebody. And if you're not ready just yet to talk to somebody, then just get out a piece of paper and write down your thoughts. Write down what's going on in your head. There will come a time that you come back and read this and you see how far you have come. Or there will come a time whereby you don't even want to talk to somebody, but you can share your notes with them so they can see that, okay, this is what this girl is going through. And sometimes you don't even want to write, you just want to draw. Well, get a book and express yourself freely. Just let your feelings go. And if you need to cry, please cry. Let out your emotions. Cry, let it out. I'll tell you, even up until last year, I was crying in the shower. I thought about my mom. I didn't know why I was thinking about her. And I just started crying. My son, I think, then he just started walking. He walked into the shower and he looked at me like, what's wrong, mommy? And then I turned to the other side and wiped my tears and, but let out your emotions. You feel such a huge relief when you let your emotions go. It's not a bad thing to cry. So do let out your emotions. I think the same thing goes for an adult, really. Don't think you need to carry the burden all by yourself. Let out your emotions if you have to. Speak to somebody. If you don't feel like your husband, if you're married, would understand, speak to a friend, or you might have an older cousin and older aunt, but just let somebody know how you're feeling. Like I said, it's not because they can help you, but it just helps to talk and to know that somebody is listening to you. That's the first step in being healed. Okay.
Okay. So is that the same for adults as well, or do you have? Okay. Thank you for that. And for anyone who's listening who's gone through a bereavement, and those are words of wisdom from Ope. Okay, so how can, if anyone needs to contact you, maybe they want to talk to you or they want to email you, how can they reach you? So
I'm on Instagram, Letters of Hope _book. I'm also on Twitter. Moronke is my name on Twitter. MOROUNKE. That's my middle name. And I'm on Facebook. You can find Letters of Hope .org.uk on Facebook.
Let's get the one.
Yes, that's me. I just wanted to go back to something else I forgot to mention before. One of the things I dealt with or I struggled with as a child when I lost my parents was calling anybody mommy or daddy. I was like, nobody can be my mom. Nobody can be my daddy. So I really struggled with that because I was still holding on to those emotions of being angry. I was very angry. So I did not want anybody to refer to anybody as my mom or my dad because I only had one mom and one dad. But I went on an Alpha course when I was at uni, and yes, even though I'd been a Christian for a long time, being on that course reminded me again of why God is my Heavenly Father. And even though I do not have an Heavenly Father, He is my Father. He meets all my needs. He protects me. He guides me. What do I need that He does not provide? What do I want that He cannot guide me on? So the more I started embracing God more as my Heavenly Father, the more I was able to let go of all this anxiety and all this thing about nobody can be my father or mother. And now I would gladly say, Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy. Not because they are my biological parents, but because it takes nothing from me, because I have a lot more confidence in the God that I serve. So it is a process, but we will get there by the grace of God.
And thanks for sharing that, because that just reiterates the fact that without God, there really isn't much. And that's one thing we have as Christians. We have that hope because He's loved us. He's given us His Son to die for us, to take our place, to take the pain, to take the shame, to take everything away. And when we put our hope in Him, then it's like we're trading our sorrow for joy. We're trading our sadness for happiness. And it's amazing when we walk with Christ. So, I mean, like they say, life without Christ is crisis. And He's the anchor, People go through so many things, but when there's Christ in there with them, it's like He takes it all on, and then we're just, at the back seat taking the ride, and God is just, He's driving He's driving at the driver's seat. So, for anyone who's, either you've backslided, I mean, this is now turning into a sermon, but I just wanted to put it out there that, Christ, we need to come back to Christ and make it all about Him. Even as Christians, sometimes we tend to put everything on our head and think, oh, I need to sort it out. No, you don't need to sort it out. That's why you have God. That's why you have Christ. He says, cast all your cares upon me, and I'll care for you. So that I'll just put that, out there. Okay, so we've got a few. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay, so any last words of wisdom before I talk about those that won on the scholarship? We have 2 minutes to go. Hopefully we can squeeze everything in. Anything else?
Just to say really that God makes all things beautiful in His time. Don't be in a rush. Whatever challenge you're facing at the moment, God will turn it around for your good. And I think there was something you said earlier on, that God gives us the comfort so that we can comfort others. So whatever pain you're in right now, God will turn it around to His glory. And just keep trusting, keep believing, and it'll work out for your good. It's worked out for my good, and it can certainly work out for your good as well. Thank you. So I'll leave it to you.
Oh, thank you so much for coming. I mean, talking to us about your story. I can't imagine that it's easy to talk about things like this, but I guess that's why I keep iterating this Christ thing. With Christ, you are able to share and smile, even though some part of you is like, okay, oh, this is happening or this has happened, but then you're still able to share, and from there, people become blessed. And so thanks for sharing a part of your journey with us. Thanks for sharing part of your story with us. And like I said before, I believe that as God is walking you through this journey, He would always provide everything you need, the wisdom, the grace, everything you need to everything you need, as you continue to share your story. So thank you so much for joining us. And remember, like I said, you can get the book on lettersofhope.org.uk and get involved. Buy it for someone who needs it. Think of it could be a child or an adult that has lost someone. Get the book. It's a very short book to read, very easy, but practical and spirit-filled book, if I may put it that way, for you to read. And it shares so much in there. I've read it and I was just blown away by that. So don't go anywhere. You're part of me talking about the support. So yes, 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, it was my birthday. Was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? I can't remember. But as part of my birthday celebration, I opened up slots for people to sign up to the academy on a scholarship basis, or for 3 months, or 6 months, or a whole year. And we got lots and lots of feedback. We got lots and lots of applicants. And what I did was, so that there's no oh, I know this person or bias, there was an independent committee that was set up to basically go through all the applications and choose the winners. And somehow they were able to come up with a unanimous decision or something. What's the word? You know what I mean? And they were able to choose that outside of me. So I was not involved in, of course, I read through the applications, and I'm putting it out there just so that, everyone doesn't think. So as far as I sent her question to you on WhatsApp, can you please check? Because I don't have my phone here. So the committee came up with the winners. Okay, so I don't want anyone sending me any messages of why didn't I win? Or you can ask in the academy afterwards. That's fine. If for some reason I'm not sure why it's not going to. So yes, I'm going to announce the winners, and they're also going to be getting emails. So let me find their names. They might be watching, or they might not be, but they will be getting an email. So I will just be announcing their names, not necessarily which scholarship they won. So in no particular order, the winners of the Super Working Mom Academy Scholarship are, drum roll, we have Fatima Wason. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Forgive me if I've just butchered your name. For Fatima, we have Olufolake Ayeyemi. We have Tosin Adepoju. We have BC Oluyede. We've got Buki Awobusuyi. We've got Deborah Oruma, and Eva Nabunya. I hope I pronounced that properly. So it's Fatima, Folake, Tosin, BC, Buki, Deborah, and Eva. So yeah, we've got quite a number. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 women. It was quite tough to choose. That's what the committee told me. And we, at first it was going to be 5. We're going to give out 5 slots, but we ended up giving 7 slots. So you'll be getting an email shortly. I'm so excited that we're going to be having new members in the community, and I'm looking forward to getting to know them better. Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? So, and for those who didn't win, you're getting an email from me as well. We have something for you, something special. So don't be too sad. I would be if it was me, but don't be too sad. So we're doing 4 minutes over. We're going to round up now. I just want to say thank you again, Ope, for joining. And that's a lovely mug you've got there. I'll just chip that in. And yes, we will be back next week. It's probably going to be just me, no guest speaker. It depends. But for now, it will be just me talking about who is a super working mom. I know, because a lot of people ask me, super working mom, what does that even mean? Like, really, so who's a super working mom? So we're going to talk about that. Yeah, who is a super working mom? What are the qualities she has? What are the attributes she has? And yeah, we'll be talking about that next week. So I look forward to seeing you on the Blab session. I will let you go now. So thank you again, Ope, for joining. And thanks to everyone who's spent their lunchtime with us. And thanks to those who will be watching the replay. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, people are saying thank you. God bless. A few people were giving you hugs earlier on.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your lunch if you still have your lunch break. If not, get back to work. And we'll see you next week, or we'll see you in the group. We also have a Facebook group for those who want to join us. It's called Super Working Moms on Facebook. And then if you want information on the academy, you can just go to www.superworkingmom.com/ in fact, let me just write it down. superworkingmom.com/academy/html. Yeah, so you can get all the information about the academy on there. And yes, thank you. I'll wrap up now, and thanks for joining again. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.